Hope you're well fed, well hung, well sung, all that good stuff. Well loved. I think I already said that. I don't know. I don't know. Damn. Treatment, dressing, wound cover. Yeah, I definitely need it. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks, girlfriend. God dang it. Just my luck, right? Just my luck. So, I don't know. Shit happens, I guess. Shit happens. Gotta protect our wound, man. Don't want that motherfucker getting infected. I got some antibiotics and all that, so lucky me, right? Yay me. But we're all good. Got a little dressing on it. Yeah, let me show you guys. Little fucker got me pretty good. See the two marks right there. That's where he got me. That's where he got me. Got me pretty good. But you know who doesn't have it pretty good? A lot of our neighbors in Wayne really struggling, and it's no secret that it's a rough economy, rough world out there. But we're a resilient bunch, you know. I mean, like I said, it's not hopeless. It's just with the current administration, the current status quo, yes, very much. It is completely hopeless. There is no hope. Nothing redeemable, right? It's not character-based hiring. It's not, we're not hiring people of good moral character. Fuck around, find out with a mean dog. I don't know. Apparently, she said he's never bit nobody, which, here's my response to that. Well, hang on. I got to use two hands, right? So that's my response to that. Yeah, I don't know. But that's what she says, She doesn't seem like she would not tell the truth, so I have no reason to believe that she wouldn't be telling the truth. And yeah, I guess I was just the one, right? I wasn't really fucking with him. That's the thing. I just like the door opens and boom, he just jumps and I don't know. Maybe he saw the camouflage or something. I don't fucking know. I don't know what his deal was, but obviously they're there to protect their owner, but shit happens. Don't let it happen again though, or I'm gonna pistol whip him. I might pistol whip him for that. I might. That's why I don't drink, man. I get in the mood. I pistol whip you. I'll go pistol whip that dog. Bop, bop, bop. No, I wouldn't do that. That's a joke. But I'm allowed to feel that way, right? I'm allowed to have that feeling. I would like to, because I would like to, but I ain't gonna pistol whip the dog. Oh, but it wouldn't be I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. Let me tell you that. But I don't know. Is that illegal? Is it illegal to pistol whip a dog, or I'm sure it's frowned upon at the very least, right? Is that animal cruelty if it was cruel to you first? Yeah, I know. I already know. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just joking. It's just a jokey joke. Just a jokey joke. That's all. Nothing to be alarmed over. Don't petition me into the psych ward, City of Wayne. You sick fucks. City of Wayne Police Department, that is. You sick ass fucks. But yeah, Ryan Strong and Colwell, they need to be They need to be fired, man. I mean, that's just an embarrassment, dude. I mean, that's really like, how are you gonna falsely petition someone into a psych ward and have no clinical certificates whatsoever, right? So it's already like, it's kind of a big deal. And then to have to solicit a mental health petition 3 weeks prior, and then the social worker, you know, lies on the petition, right? Says that she personally observed this behavior, or she personally observed the following, which personally observed means you were there, you saw it, like you personally observed it. Well, that's not even possible in this scenario. She didn't personally observe anything. She may have watched a video or something, right? But and listened to an audio, clip, right? But that's not personally observing something. And that was several days or weeks prior to this petition, and what I saw in the petition was like nothing out of the ordinary. I didn't see anything that would show an imminent threat to them or somebody else, right? An imminent threat to myself or other people. Having a feeling, having a thought, having a belief that, the City of Wayne Police Department's broken into my house 4 times, right, guys? The fire department 5 times, right? So, I'm not supposed to have any, and maliciously prosecuted me, right? Prosecuted me without any probable cause on May 9th. There was no articulation of interference. The video evidence completely contradicts the police report and the fire report, which of course the police and fire report don't even articulate a crime being committed, right? So there's no articulation for what's the reason for the stop, what's the reason for the encounter. And of course, interference is the secondary charge, right? So what's the primary charge? Well, there is none. So interfering with nothing, right? No ordinance, just a policy, no warrant. Is there something I'm just not seeing here? I don't think that that's a good look, right? And I'm obviously concerned, very concerned about that behavior. And so, yeah, I mean, I have reason to believe, and based off the fact that, Sergeant Colwell, Lieutenant Colwell now, right, you get promoted in Wayne for violating rights, uses, he punches me in the face as in tackled to the ground, right? So I'm literally clutching a phone and a cane, right? And I have my back turned, right? Like obviously no threat to anybody whatsoever. Quite opposite, in fact, right? I mean, there's no danger, right? They're the ones that are stomping on people's feet. They're the ones that are ripping and grabbing at people, right? And then getting tackled to the ground. And of course, they know my medical history too, right? And so, yeah, tackled to the ground, punched in the face from the side with handcuffs, choked, right? Choked and just assaulted, right? Battered and assaulted. And of course, for what? Because apparently I allegedly violated a conditional bond violation, right? Which isn't a crime. That would be a civil matter between me and the judge, but that's not an actual like crime. Certainly not a serious crime, right? Minor crime, I guess, if anything, right? But definitely wouldn't be a serious crime. But then it was said that I was arrested for disorderly conduct, which Michigan state statute doesn't allow for disorderly conduct on private property. You can't technically be disorderly on private property. And so that's kind of interesting in itself when you look at the statute, right? It's all referencing in public, right? So if you're in your driveway, well, that's not in public. And so again, and plus, like, what disorderly conduct, right? Having a disagreement's not disorderly conduct. Even raising your voice or yelling in your yard is not disorderly conduct. It's not public. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, I'm not really sure. Or I was over there for a bond violation. They said I was under arrest for a conditional bond violation, right? And then they changed to disorderly conduct. Well, I don't know how, I don't know. Is that the is that the conditional bond violation? Is the disorderly I don't know. So it's all very confusing. Bullshit anyways. Like I said, disorderly conduct, that's just a catch-all bullshit. All encompassing, means nothing sort of term, right? Ambiguous for and yeah, Welsh versus Wisconsin, that's not a serious crime. That's, a minor crime, if anything. And so no arrest warrant, of course, right? No reason to violently tackle somebody and punch somebody yanked behind my back, right? So I have one person grabbing this wrist, the other one's grabbing this wrist. So I'm completely defenseless, can't even defend myself, right? Can't even put my hand up to block the punch. Well, wouldn't have known it was coming anyways. So what are you supposed to do, right? I mean, just supposed to ignore that, right? And just pretend that never happened. And then, of course, over 90 some days physically in jail, right, for this. And then, of course, months of house arrest, right? Well, how did these bond conditions, where did the bond come from, right? Well, it came from this May 9th encounter, right, which was, presumed to be unconstitutional because there wasn't a warrant. It was a warrantless search and seizure, and it was completely unconstitutional. And there wasn't even an articulation of a crime being committed. That's what's just, fucking, that's what gets me angry, right? That's what really pisses me the fuck off, is the fact that, well, you look at the fire report and the police report, and of course the fire report lies and says there was an open burn ordinance, right? That's the term they use. I believe they use it in the police report too. Open burn ordinance. Well, it's not. It wasn't an ordinance, so that's a lie. Statement of disagree. People, I'm disagreeing with it, and I'm non-compliant. Well, that's not interference, right? Not willing. I'm a disabled veteran for one, so you break into someone's house and say, hey, you put that fire out. And it's like, well, no, you're here. You already broke in, so you might as well, continue violate my rights and finish the violation, right? No, they want to break in and then they want to coerce me into doing what they're trained to do. I'm not. And it's like, well, this is all retarded. And then, of course, they hand me a piece of paper. They're claiming I'm violating an ordinance, but the paper doesn't even say ordinance. And the ordinance that it refers to, 1278, 1278.07, well, those are both repealed. So you're like, okay, well, this says open burn policy. Policy is not law. Policy is policy, right? And Fourth Amendment is the law. That is the fucking law. So I'm sitting here like, just totally and utterly pissed and confused, right? Which, of course, anyone would be. And then, of course, a warrantless search is presumed to be unconstitutional, and there's no exigent circumstance. And they bypassed consent, right? They didn't even knock on my front fucking porch and say, hey, but they didn't like just immediately start putting the fire out like it was an exigent circumstance, because it wasn't. So you're just like, you just think you're going to totally violate the ever-loving fuck out of my rights, and I'm just going to comply with that. And I'm not going to tell you to suck my 8-inch dick to the balls and go fuck yourself and slip on a banana, get the fuck off my property, cuck bitch, right? I'm not supposed to say that, which is just like, I don't know. I mean, the fact that people wouldn't say that, the fact that people wouldn't say, get fucked, nigger bitch, right? I mean, the fact that somebody wouldn't say that, right, as a response, right? You don't have to use hard R. You can say whatever you want. But fuck off, suck my dick, right? That sort of thing, right? The fact that that's not the normal response by a private citizen to a government employee, a public servant, right? I mean, that's fucking shocking. I mean, that is just completely unbelievable, right? To me, as an American, as someone who served in the military, as someone who grew up, poor, working class, that's just remarkable to me, that people actually just cuck their rights away so casually. They just give away their rights, right? Especially, it's one thing like exercising a right in public, right? I mean, but on your private property, you're not allowed to exercise you're not allowed to exist and exercise your rights on your private property. I mean, it's just fucking insane to me. It's just insane to me that people don't just automatically, without hesitation, right? That's where I want to get with Wayne, right? As a society, I want to have people Like, I want to have the government terrified of private citizens. I want the government to shit their pants when they're interacting with a private citizen. I want them to be completely subservient, and I want the public official to know their place, right? I want the people, right? The collective people, the majority, right? And when I say the people, I mean taxpayer, people that have skin in the game, right? People that keep shit going, right? The working class, right? Those people, the government should be to offend, to make unhappy, right? Whatever those people ask for, the government should serve them, right? It's called servant leadership, right? It's called being a public servant, right? I want to breed a culture of public service in Wayne, and I want people to be satisfied and happy and content with their government, right? I want people to be, not go to their government for everything, but their government stays the fuck out of their way, and actually, if anything, they can utilize their government as a resource, right? Not necessarily monetarily, but the government, at the very least, the government needs to be, what would be the word? I would say efficient, right? But more so, the government needs to be friendly, right? I would say not hostile, right? Just not fucking hostile to people, right? Like, the government shouldn't be a hindrance to your life. It should be ideally an asset, right? It shouldn't be a liability. It should be a fucking asset. And so I just want things that make sense, right? I mean, I want to look at all the crime, right? All the actual crime, right? The real crime in Wayne. I want to see how much real crime is being tackled, how much real crime is being solved, right? And I just want to see the results, right? I want to actually be able to look at a graph and actually see the cold hard results, right? I want to see how things are actually working, how much money we're spending per conviction, right? And I don't, I'm talking felony, right? I'm talking felony, violent crime, right? I want to see where our dollars are being utilized, how our dollars are being spent, how much money was spent on the DeVincent farm, or the people versus the city, the people of the city of Wayne versus DeVincent McFarland. How much money was spent so far, right? I mean, there's a lot of questions, right, that we want to actually see, visually see, be able to visually see, right? We want to see the cold, raw data, the numbers, right? That's what we want to fucking see. And we want to be able to calculate how, like, per dollar, right? Per felony conviction, how much money is being spent. How much, how much money are we wasting, essentially, right? What's the money? What's the result of the money being spent, right? And once you can illustrate to people that, hey guys, you're getting fucked, right? I mean, I know that you're getting fucked, but now you can see it undeniably. Here's a fucking graph. You don't even have to put it into words. Just look at the picture, right? Look at the pie chart here. This is how bad you're getting fucked. Let me quantify how bad you're getting fucked, okay? In inches, right? Let me show you how many inches you're taking in the ass, right? Just by, calling this your residence, right? Your home, right? So, yeah, I mean, it'll blow your mind when you actually illustrate it. People, I mean, they're already disgusted, right? So, imagine just straight up fucking just, do the right thing, right? Finley Carter, E.I. Carter the Third, right? Do the right thing. Was in your bitch asses every day.